Well, good evening, and I tell you what, it's been another hot and humid afternoon, and I, for one, am tired of this heat. Fall can't get here soon enough. I posted on Facebook earlier saying, I'm tired of this heat. How about you? Many of you responded and said you're equally annoyed with this heat. So, unfortunately, I've got to be the bearer of bad news for all of us who are not a fan of this warmer weather. It's here to stay for a little while longer. So thank you so much for tuning in to Weather 225, and hopefully you've had a great day and stayed cool. Let us know if you like these formats. We've tried a couple different formats with these forecast videos. We're trying to see what works best for the viewer, what also works best for the algorithm, and we just want to make sure that, we're covering all of our bases and doing what you guys prefer. Comment below what you prefer, and we will take that into consideration. So thank you so much for tuning in. Here's a look at what we got for tomorrow morning. Lows are going to start off anywhere from 79 to 83. As the kids are headed out the door, make sure that they got plenty of water because it's going to be another warm one, especially if you got student athletes. Practice tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, even tomorrow morning if your team practices earlier in the day. It's going to be miserable no matter what time. The good news is at least it's going to be cooler in the morning if you have morning practice. But the afternoon and evening, if you've got any sort of sports teams doing outdoor activities, if you're working outside doing outdoor activities, it's going to be miserable. Let me show you why. These temperatures are going to be anywhere from 99 to 105. Yeah, it's going to be a couple degrees warmer in some locations compared to today, but we're at that point in the year where it could be 99, it could be 105. You're really not going to feel the difference. On paper, it's technically a little bit different, but how it feels to you, you're going to not notice any sort of difference with that. So with that being said, protect yourself from the heat and make sure that you are aware of heat-related signs of illness. Stay hydrated. You're going to need to drink plenty of water tomorrow. Get those electrolytes if you're planning to be outside, even if you're not going to be outside for super long. And you can probably tell with the lights that we have in here and the computers running, it gets pretty hot in here too. So I'm having to stay hydrated myself. Anywhere from 99 to 105, that's going to be a miserable afternoon if you ask me. So here's a look at what we got with the severe weather risk. And the good news is, at least with the temperatures and this time of the year, we're quiet and we don't have to talk about severe weather, right? So nothing to talk about here. But earlier, even though there's no highlighted risk for severe weather, there were a couple of storms near the Springfield area in Missouri that went on to produce some damaging winds. We actually did have some verified reports of that. They were temporarily warned. It was just outside of our county coverage area. And then as it started to make its way closer to the Branson area, it weakened and basically fizzled out. So the good news is we dodged some of that activity today. If we see any more activity, I can't rule out maybe some gusty winds with some of it, right? But it's not going to be widespread. In fact, here's a look at the algorithm. Did a pretty good job with the southwest Missouri activity, keeping it just outside the county coverage area, but rain chances will be possible. In fact, the Weather Prediction Center also highlighted us for a low chance of rain. A couple tenths of an inch will be possible. Not everyone's going to see it. Again, kind of like yesterday, the remainder today, there's going to be the possibility that, yeah, you could get one or two storms, or you may not see anything at all. And so parts of southwest Missouri, just outside our county coverage area, saw that activity. Then it really didn't do a whole lot, at least so far as of this update into our county coverage area. And let's hope it stays that way for the severe weather risk, but let's hope we get some of the rain because we desperately need it. So that's a look at what we got there. Comment below too, because it's just the county over, right? We've been taking a look at some things. So if you've got friends and family in the Springfield, Missouri area, if you're just so happening to tune in, see this update, and you like what you see, if you want us to add Springfield to our county coverage area, please let us know in the comments. We'll take it into consideration. We've been kind of debating that and Oklahoma City back and forth. We're not going to expand into the whole market of each, but we've been considering adding those two. So just comment below your thoughts on that. We may or may not do it. We'll just have to wait and see. Something that we have done is going to be the fire weather conditions. And so we've added a tab to our website. Go to weather225.com. And when you see the regional forecast tab, it's either on the drop-down menu for mobile, or if you're on the website, just go to regional forecast. The second item down should say regional fire weather conditions, and this will be on the page. So not only does it have the regional forecast, but we break it down. If you're in southwest Missouri, there's a graph. If you're in Arkansas, there's a graph. Oklahoma, we even have the national map. In fact, we actually do this for all of our forecasts on weather225.com. So these updates, we do the whole area because, we're covering a lot of ground here, but we break it down on the 24/7 stream and on our website. So added a new fire weather tab. And the reason for that is for the rest of today, even into portions of tomorrow. Notice Payne County, Oklahoma is clipped by a elevated risk for fire weather conditions. So not all of our county coverage area, but this is maybe a sign of what's to come. We've got a dry forecast moving forward. With the drought building in, we could see more of these fire weather conditions. Now, moving away from the fire weather topic, let's get into your tomorrow morning forecast. Good news is, from the Foghorns Morning Fog Outlook, there is nothing to talk about in terms of morning fog. So again, there is technically some good news when it comes to this warm and dry weather. Conditions are just not favorable for dense morning fog. Support Foghorns like they support us. We're so grateful to have them here on the channel. Make sure you check them out. They're located in Fayetteville. They got some awesome wings. They've got a lot of cool things. And make sure, especially during sports season, I know we got football coming up, and, got to have a place to watch Arkansas football, or, if you're in the area and you're not exactly a Razorback fan, just go to Foghorns in general. You can root for the teams and watch the games there. But, Razorback fans, when we're in an away game, it's a perfect place to watch the games there. So be sure to check them out. Support them like they support us, and we're grateful to have them on the channel. That's a look at the forecast for the remainder of today and into tomorrow. We'll take a look at that extended forecast coming up. All right, so we've been talking about this drought that's building in. Here's another look at that, and we're keeping an eye on this because remember, tomorrow we get the latest update. They're issued every Thursday. It's not a daily thing, and the latest drought conditions we'll see. Has it built in even further and gotten worse, or is it staying the same? So we'll need to check on that tomorrow. But again, we got fire weather conditions starting to build back into the area, and so we'll need to keep an eye on this because over the next couple of weeks, we're still talking about the potential for what we call a sudden onset drought, where it could build in and it could get worse pretty quickly. So we'll keep an eye on that. We still have some of those burn bans to keep an eye on. Some of the counties have these until further notice. That's these counties you see shaded in red. Benton County, they issue theirs every 24 hours. It's not until further notice like some of these other locations. So check with your local county officials to see, are you in a burn ban before you do any sort of activities. I doubt anyone will be barbecuing outside the next several days because it's way too hot to get the grill and the smoker set up. If you're planning to cook out, it's just too hot for many of us for those activities. The other thing too, extended temperature outlook is still leaning into the well above average temperature range. This is for days 8 to 14. So this means we got another couple of weeks with these temperatures, still looking at a high risk potentially for some extreme heat. Now our computer system, it can't pull in that data, unfortunately, to show you some of those products from the Climate Prediction Center, but it's still there, and it's something we need to talk about because there could be some days, especially in the 7-day forecast period, not quite in the distant future, that there could be some days that temperatures could be as high as 107 in some areas. Not all of them, but we need to keep an eye on that. Some good news, though, technically, is we're in our average range for precipitation, which means there may be some rain opportunities. But I really, really wish that we were seeing some of those above to well above average precipitation chances making their way further to the east. We desperately need rain. So, unfortunately, yeah, we may get some, weak systems that move in. In fact, there could be one into portions of next week. We'll talk more about that here in just a second. That may bring some low rain chances. Nothing that's going to really impact the drought, but I'd love to see more of those rain chances move further into our county coverage area. So hopefully we get that, but again, it's too early to tell. Northwest Arkansas, here's a look at what we've got. That weak system should arrive by early next week. Portions Monday, Tuesday. Notice we go from 100 to 99. It's not impressive. In fact, the latest updates throughout the day today, yeah, it looks like we may get a little bit of a disturbance. I'm going to call it a disturbance because it's not going to be like a couple weekends back where the weather was just beautiful and we enjoyed it. It's going to be a very weak system, if anything, that moves through. Temperatures are in the triple digits pretty much for the majority of the 7-day forecast in Northwest Arkansas. Now, as we make our way into the River Valley, same thing. These are the days that are going to be close to 107 in some locations. Parts of the River Valley could be 105 plus Sunday and Monday. That's going to be hot. Not only that, but eastern Oklahoma, there could be some activity Sunday and Monday into that higher temperature range as well. that would be our extreme heat risk. So we'll keep an eye on that. And unfortunately, rain chances only look to be about 10 to 20%, depending on the location, and even triple digits in Southwest Missouri. Let us know if you like these formats. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate all of you. We're working on so many things behind the scenes, and we want to make sure we're doing everything that the viewers like. We don't want to dramatically change our graphics or anything along the lines there. We're trying to work on some things because we're trying to see what the algorithm likes in terms of the looks. We're also trying to see what the viewers like in terms of the looks. We've tried the other studio. We're trying, or the studio that's behind me rather, and now we're trying this to see, is it better? Because one of our concerns was we wanted to make sure that you could see all the information. And so let us know. This format we're trying just because we want to make sure that you can see all the information on the graphic. I'm not taking up too much space, but also you can get some of the information. So right there, that little QR code will take you to our streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on weather225.com. Be sure to check that out as well. Let us know in the comments, do you like this? And also about the Springfield, Missouri, and maybe Oklahoma City area, do you want us to add those areas as well? Thank you so much.